Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going?
It's going great, Steven. How are you guys?
Doing well. You recovering well from your COVID situation?
Yeah, we're out of the woods, getting back kind of to that normal routine, getting back to work, things like that. So yeah, it's
Good.
been good.
Well, that's good to hear. Well, I'll let you and Chike take away movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I saw a couple of things. The first thing I saw was a movie on Amazon Prime called All the Old Knives. And this is a spy drama starring Chris Pine and Thandie Newton. And it is a story about these two spies that are meeting after an incident happened several years ago, a terrorist attack that happened in Austria with a Turkish airline. And what Chris Pine is doing is he's interrogating people from that time period of when that happened to discover any inconsistencies that happened during that. And so during this dinner, they go back and forth and discuss what happened and their relationship and what's going on with it. And we kind of get a lot of that spy, typical spy movies where it's the double twist and the fake outs and little things and like finding hidden information. Overall, it's fine. It's exactly what you expect from like a movie that if you have Amazon Prime, free to stream, free to watch, pretty middle of the road, nothing that's too exciting, nothing that's too amazing. But again, if you're looking for a spy drama, which we don't have too many of those these days, then this is something worth checking out. And the other thing I saw is the first episode of a new HBO show, which they've been advertising nonstop, Tokyo Vice. And I don't know if you've seen anything about it, but it follows the story of this American journalist who moves to Tokyo and he becomes the first American to work for this Japanese newspaper. And he works with this Tokyo beat cop in the late 90s in Japan to follow kind of the interplay between how the vice scene is in Tokyo and how it relates to the Yakuza in there. So it's okay. I only saw the first episode. They have the first 3 episodes already out on HBO Max. First episode is really just kind of that intro episode, getting you into the characters, getting you to learn things. So I think it does have potential. I will say this: after the first episode, I didn't feel compelled to watch the next one. So I think probably once all the episodes come out, I'll try to binge it when I get a chance. But for right now, it's something different. It's something kind of fun. Again, nostalgia for that late 90s period. You'll get a little bit of that. And if you are a fan of Miami Vice, this is Michael Mann, also, who did Miami Vice, the series, famous director, Heat, and everything like that. He was one of the producers for the show. So it has a little bit of that vibe as well. So again, if you have HBO Max, definitely, worth checking out if you're into that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's it for me.
So I saw All the Old Knives as well. I thought it was very adult, very if you're looking for, the kung fu and the guns type of spy movie, that's not going to be
Mm-hmm.
It's very methodic. It's kind of slow in certain places
Mm-hmm.
and very thought out. But when the plot gets going and they start to trip you up in the storyline, it starts to move pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was excellently done. One thing did strike me though. It made me question. So when I pulled it up on Amazon, right, and looked at the billing, um, Chris Pine was in the billing, but he wasn't primary, and he was a producer. He's a producer of this.
Mm-hmm.
And Lawrence Fishburne and Thandie Newton weren't on the billing at all. And I'm talking just from looking at it from Amazon Prime. When they list the cast, Chris Pine is last on the cast, and the other two aren't on there at all. And then when you actually get into the film, of course, you see it differently. But it made me think that this was probably a foreign release first, because the actors that went before Chris Pine in the billing were foreign actors. So maybe they released it in another country first before they brought it to Amazon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was interesting because actually, yeah, it's the film was announced in 2017, and Michelle Williams was originally going to be the counterpart, and then at some point she dropped out of it. So I'm wondering when Amazon maybe got everything together, they were in that in between period where they didn't really know who was going to be in it, but they've kind of probably already added the stuff. But yeah, it's a good point because Chris Pine obviously is in an American audience the top billed
Mhm.
actor. So yeah, that does make a good point.
Yeah, interesting. I saw a film on Disney Plus. It's called Better Nate Than Ever, and it stars Ruby Wood as Nate, Lisa Kudrow, and Aria Brooks. This film is about a young guy who's in school, and he has a desire to audition for a play at school, but he doesn't seem to get excited about the play at school, but he has an opportunity to go to New York when his parents go away, and he sneaks away and auditions for a Broadway show, Lilo and Stitch on Broadway. And he sneaks away and he does that. And it's this whole big adventure of him sneaking to New York to audition for this play, which it's very interesting. One thing about this film is the level of inclusion. So remember we talked before about the and just like that, the Sex and the City reboot,
Hmm.
and they were making attempts for inclusion, but it seemed very obvious, like obvious to the point where it was annoying, at least for
Yeah.
me. Uh, this movie is about inclusion, but the subject matter didn't seem overbearing and it didn't seem contrite. It didn't seem deliberate. It was seamless. And this is the first film where they allude to the lead character, who is a child, being gay.
Hmm.
And the way that they do it is actually kind of cute, if I can say that. It was very interesting. Um, it made me laugh. I thought it was fun. It's a family movie, and I think that yeah, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I think that it's a good film. You should watch it. Uh,
Nice.
some good musical numbers in it, and not that I'm into musicals or anything like that. And I watched it just because I wanted to have something to watch for the show, and I actually wind up liking the movie. And I'm a Lisa Kudrow fan. She was kind of funny.
Hmm.
I
So
love her.
check it out. What you got, Steven?
I got some good ones.
Oh gosh.
So, Winning Time, that's on HBO Max. It's about Magic Johnson and the Lakers back in
Oh
the.
yeah, that looks good.
It is so good. They have 5 episodes out. I watched them all over the weekend. I think I just started Friday. But anyway, I watched them.
Hold on. I want to ask you about that because I was actually going to talk about this next week.
Mhm.
Do you see how they are starting the storyline of Magic Johnson and the HIV?
That was the first scene.
Yeah, yeah. It's very
Yeah.
interesting.
They go back and forth in time, but if you pay attention, you can see it. Even with Jerry Rice, the initial coach, going
Yes.
back when he played and things
Yeah.
like that. I think it's a great series. So I can't wait to see. And then they have commentary after each episode with Rick Fox and some of the characters in the series, and they just talk about each show, kind of like Insecure did. It was really good.
Yeah. Right now.
The girl that from Plainville, that's still really good. And I did, after last week's show, I watched the documentary on Hulu, I believe it's on. And it was good. And it was interesting how, she was found guilty, but she only had to do like 15 months because it showed how people in the country were divided over whether or not she should be charged with the young guy's suicide after because she encouraged him to get back in the car when he was about to get out. He got scared. But that's good. I finished The Dropout. I finished that. They had the season finale this past week. That was good. That girl's crazy. But but those are both really good series. And then the last thing I want to talk about, we talked about a little bit in Hot Topics, was Deep Water with Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah,
It's
was
on
it good?
Hulu. Really good. So pretty much he's married to this young woman, and this woman is, I want to say she's cheating on him, but pretty much does it in his face. Kissing guys, flirting with guys, getting drunk, not coming home late. And they had a daughter. They have a daughter. I would guess she's like 5 or so. So she says she never wanted to get married. She didn't want to have a baby, but he is obsessed with this woman. And so we start noticing that the different guys, as she meets her friends, they start missing. and I don't want to give it away, but to sum it up at the end, she pretty much realized I'm stuck with him. Because if you date this girl, you're gonna come on missing. But it's really good, and then there was a diverse cast, but just a really good show. I didn't expect it. It was storming outside.
I saw that. Did he have any hands in the production of that?
I'm not sure, but I would assume he did. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a good question.
No, it doesn't show it does. It was directed by Adrian Lane, producers Ben Fortner, Steven Zalian. He's not in any of that, so probably not. But I would have thought he did. I thought he did, but it was really good. It was really good. His wife in the movie reminds me of a young Salma Helmet. What's her name?
Salma Hayek.
Hayek. She was just like.
Is that Ana de Armas? She's she's the lead in Knives Out. If you remember her, and in the new James Bond movie.
You wanted to choke her the whole movie. I'm thinking, why is he put up with this woman? But anyway, but it's definitely a good I must see. So
nice.
That's really all I have. I came prepared this time.
Nice.
Can we talk about how good Abbott Elementary is, by the way?
Oh my goodness.
Wait, I haven't seen it yet. Spoilers.
A great show.
I've heard good things.
Did you see the last episode?
Yes. When they had the board meeting.
Yes.
But she pulled it together. Oh, but yeah.
Shout out to Quinta Brunson.
Yes. But yeah, that's a great show.
Definitely check out Marvel's new series Moon Knight. It's very interesting. I haven't read up on the character. I'm just taking it as it comes, and how it's developing is pretty interesting. So nice. The character is kind of developing, or has a personality disorder where he's split into two people, and he's split into two people, but he's also possessed by an Egyptian entity, which makes it great. So definitely check it out. It's a lot of action. Check it out.
Okay.
Also, This Is Us is going off. They're in their last season, and it's just a really good show. I mean, I think they're leaving at a good time because it's such a well-produced show, and I'm not sure what else they can talk about, but it is really, really good.
I will agree with you. It is a really good show, but I had to give it up because I was tired of crying. Like they want to cry every week. Yeah,
and it's in a crazy place right now because the sister, what's her name? I can't think of her name, but she her and her husband are going through it, and it's looking like it may not work. He lives in San Francisco, she lives in LA. He couldn't get work in LA, so he took a job there, which he loves, but he has to travel back and forth on the weekends. And so she went to go visit him, and she just saw how he has a whole new life out there. You know what I mean? Not necessarily with another woman or anything, but just and she loves her life in LA. And so he decided, and then she found out when she was out there that he actually got a job offer in LA, but he turned it down because he really likes the job he's at. And he's in demand, and they love him. She went to one of his work functions, and they love him there. And he said, and she's saying that when she first met him, he was this goofy man that dressed crazy, overweight, and now he's put together, he's lost weight, and he's in charge. And he said that he wore those crazy clothes because he was trying to take the spotlight off of him for overcompensating for his weight and all that kind of stuff. And they're having a hard time when it comes to their parenting. You know, he's trying to step in, but she already has everything kind of routine because she's there with the kids every day. And one of them, he's blind. And this past week, I'm not rambling. The past week, he always told him he has a gate, almost like a doggy gate at his door, and always make sure it clicks when it when you close it. And so something happened at the house. They had a flooding or something, so he didn't close the door all the way, and the kid walked out, and he went missing. They ended up finding him because she had taught him, even when he's blind, to count the steps to go to the park, and that's where he went. But it's just a whole different thing. But I hope they'll make it. This episode tomorrow is supposed to be about their relationship. Yeah. So they're doing each week, they're focusing on one character. Like they did each son, they did her, and then now this is their marriage. But it's really good. Well,
absolutely riveting storytelling.
Shut up. My mom always said, tell the short version.
And you never learn.
Never learn. Can they come down the pipeline?
Yeah, a couple things. So first of all, this Straight Fire song, Now That You're Gone. I don't know if you've heard it. The one and only Stephen Knight. That's on my nonstop Spotify loop. Speaking of tears. Oof. Oof. Oof.
You know, I wrote that song when I was 20 years old.
Wow.
I said, I don't know what I was going through, but I wrote
1980. Jeez. Oof. Oof. Oof.
I didn't know that. I was actually going to ask you if there was an ode to your mother.
No, I wrote that song when I was 20 years old. I don't know. I wasn't going through anything where I was like, but I was just writing. I used to, like, when I write, I always write from if I knew someone was going through a situation, how they would probably feel. And so I wrote it then, put it away, and I've literally recorded that song maybe 5 times throughout the years. And finally, I decided now it's time to put it up. And so,
is it different sounding than when you first recorded it then?
Yeah, very much. It was a lot slower when I first wrote it. It was more like a big ballad. But what happened, I was doing my taxes real quick. I was doing my taxes this year, and I was looking at the music, part of my taxes, and I was looking at the territories where my music sold last year. Wow, Indonesia, reading all the different, and I said, it's time to put out something new. And so I thought, yeah, now it's gone. Because I love that song. That's song, I wrote it completely. I did all the vocal production myself, like in terms of the harmonies and things like that. Shout out to Regis who recorded it for me. But yeah, that was one of the songs that I had my hands on almost every part of it. You know what I mean? And that's why I love that song.
That's awesome. Well, so how long will we have to wait for another one? Are we waiting too long?
I'm supposed to be working on music this year. I was supposed to be working on 2020, but pandemic hit and I was not motivated to do anything. Mm-hmm. And so like everybody was putting out these albums, they're home, not me.
Yeah, exactly.
But this year, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be working on some stuff. So
I look forward to that.
Soon? Will you be performing anywhere soon?
Well, I did a virtual performance on Sunday, yesterday. I actually recorded it a week ago for this. Our guests that were on last week, they in the UK, they had this conference, and they asked me to perform there, so I did that. And so yeah, we'll get back into some stuff. It feels good promoting your music and just the whole process of it all. So yeah, I definitely will be.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to put you on spot on air. When are you coming on Conversations with Chike Evans?
When you invite me?
I've invited you.
Well, when? I know you did. We talked about email, it,
Steven.
We talked about it, but it didn't happen. But yeah, I'll definitely do it though. You know that.
Okay.
That's awesome. But for a real movie, there's one called and Chike, maybe you've heard of this. It's called Everything and Everything Everywhere and All at Once. It's a multiverse movie, and it's like not related to any comic books or superhero movie, but it's this multiverse movie. It just came out. It's getting rave reviews. People are calling it the best movie of the year. I have not seen it yet because it hasn't appeared close enough to me. It's like at the theater 2 miles away, not the one like 500 feet away. So yes, I'm being a little lazy. Also, I just had COVID, but I do want to check it out, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. So that's on my list.
Okay. And I think that there's a series that just dropped, if I'm correct, with the same premise. Like this whole multiverse premise is starting to be pretty big.
Yeah, everyone. It's the trend, right? Ever since Spider-Verse, I feel like we got Doctor Strange, we got this movie. I feel like everyone's just leaning into it.
Maybe they're trying to tell us something.
That's true.
All right, guys. Well, thanks as always for letting us know what to spend our time and money on and whatnot. And have a great week.
All right, thank you.
All right, back after this.